is multiplication. So 38% of 50 is the same as 38 times 50. 38% times 50. Okay? So to get 38% into a form that we can use it to multiply with, we're going to use the decimal form. So 0.38, because that's the same. We know that already. Then times 50. Who has a calculator?
I do.
Okay, Tanner, go ahead and crank out the numbers for us. Right here. 38% or 0.38 times 50 is what?
19.
19. And that's 19 what? When we think back to our original problem about your test.
19 questions, correct.
Okay, exactly. Because we know that there were 50 questions on the test, and so you got 19 of those right. So X equals 19.
That is awful.
Those pretty. You didn't do any better.
Regardless of the score on the test, this is how you calculate percentages. Okay? So we'll work through some more examples in just a minute, but be thinking about exactly what these percentages mean and how they can be applied to real life.
Is that what you're aiming at?
Yeah, that's what I was buying.
I love Miss Bryant's class.
Me
What
too.
you do?
I guess
Miss Bryant is always so helpful.
I know. I guess
No?
we'll just have to.
Okay, so listen up here. Maybe we can talk later after
Before
class. Right now, we've still got a lot to learn about percentages and how that relates to the stakes that we want on our tables.
Okay.
So, percentage is one of the biggest percentages that we use in the beef industry is dressing percentage. That's taking the live animal weight, multiplying it by whatever the dressing percentage is to get the hot carcass weight. And we know what a hot carcass weight is. We learned that a little bit earlier today. So, say maybe we know what the animal weighed before it was harvested. We know what the hot carcass weight is. How would we calculate the dressing percentage? How do we need to set up our equation?
We multiply.
What do we multiply, Brandon?
1,200 pounds times 64%.
Okay, well, we don't know what this number is right now.
Oh.
Because all we know is our our live weight and our hot carcass weight. We're trying to calculate dressing percentage.
Weight divided by hot carcass weight.
Okay, so live weight 1,200 divided by hot carcass weight of 768. Tanner, can you crank that out for us on the calculator? Go ahead and calculate that.
I have a feeling it's going to be 64%.
Bet it is.
I got 1.56.
Okay, so we
The other way.
know that after we take off the hide and all the viscera on the inside, that we're not going to have more than what we started with. So that must mean that we have our equation set up wrong.
Backwards.
So
I
let's
think I
put
just typed it in wrong.
No, you didn't.
Let's put 768 over 1,200.
Because I just did too.
Well,
Okay.
do that.
Go ahead and calculate that for us.
Point
0.64.
4. I don't want to say it too fast and you get lost.
Okay, so you said that you thought it might be around 64%, but it's not. It's 0.64. So does that mean that it's less than 1% of the live weight? What does that mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's what?
0.64% of his body was muscle and bones.
0.64?
Like over half of it.
So, but this is 0.64. That's not even 1.
But 1 is
But
the whole
1 is
shebang.
100%. is the 1,200 pounds.
We need to convert that into a percentage.
So we have to convert this into a percentage. How would we do that?
Times it by 100.
Just,
Very good. Multiply that by 100.
I'm hard.
Mark.
So, an easy way to do this
Smart.
when it's just a set 100 is that we can just move the decimal. That's going to be the same as multiplying it by 100. And so we'll move the decimal one decimal place,
that goes
two
forward.
decimal places,
Ignorant.
Oh no.
okay? And so that would give us 64.
That's more
There's where our decimal is now, 64%.
Percent.
Okay?
Okay.
Which we have right there. More questions?
Do you have to put .0?
You don't have to. That was just to show where our decimal moved to. Because otherwise you just wouldn't put a decimal, but just to show that we did move the decimal.
Okay.
Okay. So, our first, here's exactly how we're going to be calculating this. We need to get this down on paper so we'll have it for future reference, because we will see it again. We talked a little bit about what the non-lean is. That's going to be all the kph fat on the inside, anything that can be taken off of the carcass, and after we calculate the hot carcass weight, all this can be taken off without taking off any of the actual lean meat. And then when we multiply hot carcass weight times the percent of non-lean, then that's going to give us the pounds of lean. Okay? Then we'll subtract the pounds of non-lean, which we just calculated, from the hot carcass weight, and that will give us the pounds of lean meat, lean muscle. Okay, but if we want to know the percent of lean cuts that come off of that carcass, then we'll take the pounds of lean cuts divided by the hot carcass weight. That'll give us percentage. Cool?
Cool.
More questions?
Let's try it.
Ready? Okay, our first problem. We have a hot carcass weight of 750 pounds. And then they come out and tell us that after they took off the fat and everything that wasn't needed and left just the meat and the important bones that were holding the meat on, that there was 18% of non-lean cuts. So our first step is we're going to calculate how many pounds of non-lean that is. So what do we do first?
Multiply.
750 pounds, multiply by what?
0.18.
Okay. Times 0.18. And what does that give us?
135.
135. What's our unit of measure?
Oh, sure, class. I'll answer all the questions. Pounds.
Thanks,
Very
Tanner.
good, Tanner. Okay, we have 135 pounds of, that's going to be our non-lean. So now we know the weight of that. But we're trying to figure out the weight of the lean. So we'll take our 750 pounds, subtract our 135 pounds. What does that give us?
615.
615.
I was about to say that.
That's 615 pounds
615
of
pounds of meat.
Cuts.
lean cuts of meat.
Lean meat.
Okay. But that's still not what we're trying to find out exactly. We want the percentage of lean cuts. Okay, so to convert 615 pounds out of 750 pounds, how do we set this one up?
Say that again.
Okay, to convert 615 pounds of lean cuts of meat of the original 750 pounds. How do we set that up?
You take that 615 lean cuts
Okay.
of meat and divide it
By
by the
750.
hot carcass weight.
Okay.
Equals.
That equals your percentage of lean cuts.
Okay. And what is
That
our
is
percentage?
0.82.
0.82.
0.82.
Okay, so let's go ahead and
82%.
convert that to a percent.
Times 100.
Times 100.
Times 100
100.
Put her on there.
equals
82 percentages.
Percentage.
82%.
That's fine.
Everybody get that on theirs?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so that's 82% of
That's a nice
lean cuts.
cattle.
That's a lot of lean cuts of meat. 615 pounds.
Ooh, bringing in the money.
Money, money, money.
Okay, so
Money, money, money.
we got that. Now we have a new problem.
Uh-oh.
Who will come up and
Brandon will.
I will.
Yep.
Mhm.
We come up, Brandon? Okay.
You're the math magician in here. Magician. Good thing he's autistic.
Okay, so let's help Brandon out. What's our first step?
810.
Okay.
Can't write very good, but he's autistic.
Times 14.5.
No, times 0.145.
3.14.
Because we just went ahead and converted it to a decimal
A decimal.
Oh.
from
Okay.
a percent.
2 places.
Just move
Two decimal
the
points.
decimal 2 places to the left. And what is that?
117.45.
Is what?
117.45.
Oh my god. Are you sleeping, Amanda? My head hurts. My head does too.
Mine did yesterday. Once no, it was
I
there.
think that's what
Done
you're
presenting.
It's okay.
That's it.
0.45.
Thank you.
Then what do we need to do, Brandon?
Today. I got migraine.
Remember when I
Did I
played?
take your
18?
Lysolols?
No, they don't work. I have to
Okay.
take mine.
Did everybody see what happened just then?
No.
Oh
We
yeah.
went from 117.45 to 100. Oh, okay. If we wanted to round this up to the nearest pound, this would make, since we
117.
have a 5 here, that would round the 4 up to a 5, and then that would round 117 to 118.
Oh, okay.
But it's okay, we can go either way.
See? Damn, yesterday.
So 810 minus 118 is
Yes.
Oh.
Now 692.
692.
You did that in your head, didn't you?
Yep.
Didn't even need that like
Okay, what's the next step?
692
Divided by
810, then times that by 100 to get your percentage.
Man, this is a good cattle, too.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Because I
what is
got
our
85%.
percentage? 85.
0.432.
0.85. There you go. Say a little prayer way down there. Time. Now you gotta put the pin down. Okay.
Mr. Barton,
Yes, sir.
if these cattle are this lean, what's that going to do to our marbling?
Okay, that's a good question. Right here, this is our hot carcass weight. So we're not calculating dressing percentage right here. We'll do that a little bit later, but we've already taken that out. So,
So we're not even talking about it.
well, we're going to talk about dressing percentage a little bit later, but right now we're talking about from the hot carcass to the plate, what percentage of lean cuts we have.
Okay.
A little bit later we'll look at from the live animal to the plate, what percentage. And so they're not actually 15% lean, or not actually 15% non-lean. The dressing percentage would probably be a little bit higher than that. Good question. Okay, everybody get 85%? Everybody get 85%?